Hello, Empowered family. Will Robbins here again with another edition of our Athlete Empowered Player of the Week. We're actually gonna go and have our world famous alumni over here, Miss Lilly Kruse, all the way back from college with Liberty University, where she's been having an amazing career.
Thank you.
So tell me just a little bit about Liberty and how your experience has been there.
Well, the first thing that stood out to Liberty for me was the campus is beautiful, and it's a Division I volleyball experience while still being in a Christian environment, and that was something important to me that really stood out. So I really loved my experience. The girls there are awesome. It's great to be able to pray together before and after matches and to just have that peace that I know a lot of my former club teammates didn't get to have at a college level. So it's just been really neat to see how God works. I've loved my education there, was able to finish my undergrad, and it's just been a really fun experience to get to know the girls and to play volleyball at such a high level. I know that practice is honestly one of my favorite things to do. I just love the intense game-like drills and game-like play. It's just fun to be at that level, so it's not so much just the foundations of each skill, but you get to really just compete. So I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so Liberty is amazing from an academic standpoint, but as you mentioned, it's a great Division I program. And so yeah, to me, it's the best of both worlds. You get that Christian education with high level athletics.
Yeah.
And so speaking of athletics, I mean, you come in, you end up making the all freshman team, you end up being the freshman player of the week a couple times, just been killing it. And then on top of that, yeah, you got a 4.0 on the school side. You finished your undergrad in, what'd you say, 2.5 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Wow, now you're working on your master's. You're gonna try to finish your master's before you graduate?
Yeah, I'm starting my master's in business administration, so hopefully if it times out correctly, I'll be able to do my senior year of volleyball next year and then finish my master's by the end of that year. So I'm just working on that right now. I'm just hoping to use that eventually to hopefully go into something with either marketing or business and just be able to be more well-rounded and marketable from that standpoint.
Wow, what a blessing. So yeah, not only you get just a high-level volleyball experience, but not only you getting high-level academics, you're going to be able to do your bachelor's and your master's and have it all done to be able to finish with your MBA in your career. That's mind-blowing right there, because most people, me included, I was on a path to have to go a fifth year just to finish my bachelor's. And yeah, here you are knocking both out. And part of that is, you told me a little bit earlier, Lakewood, you were able to actually do some dual credit courses. Tell me about that.
Lakewood actually offered a lot of dual credit options both my junior and senior year, so I was able to finish all my Bio 101 classes that you have to usually take coming in as a freshman. I took pre-calc and calculus, so my math was done when I came in. And then they even offered an opportunity for me to do some online classes through Trine my senior year. So I really came in set up for success. I even ran into my old academic coordinator the other day at Kroger, and he was like, "Man, are you graduated yet? I know you came in with tons of credits." And I was like, "Yeah, actually I am." So they just really set me up for success in that regard. And then Liberty has given me the opportunity to take classes every summer. They want us there to train in the summer already. So I've been able to take a lot of summer classes either residentially or online throughout my whole 3 years so far. So that's also really helped to be able to finish it at the pace I was.
Wow, so you're gonna really hit the ground running. I mean, not only does, obviously we always talk about sports being able to prepare you for life and how work ethic, commitment, dedication, how to work with the team, all of those things, but just stepping out, with your bachelor's and your MBA, you're really going to be able to hit the ground running. And have you been able to do any type of internships or anything like that to kind of get some working experience?
Actually, due to COVID, I didn't have to do a residential internship. I was able to take a course online that still kind of prepares you as far as more hands-on stuff, what an internship would look like. I worked with a nonprofit. I actually did Restoration Road with Mitch Kruse as my nonprofit, and I was able to, was able to work alongside him and create a whole marketing, social media plan, create even a mock app prototype for him. So I was able to do some hands-on stuff like that. I haven't been able to actually get in with the real business so far, but I'm looking forward to getting to that either this coming summer or maybe even this winter, be able to start doing some more hands-on stuff.
I'm gonna let your dad know that you said it's not a real business.
Oh, well, it's a real business, but outside the family.
There you go, outside the family. Mitch Kruse, you have an amazing business. No, that's, all of those things are just amazing. Just such a blessing to be able to have all of that experience in your college experience, where it really can prepare you for life, but also really gives you just an awesome journey through school where you're able to come in, instantly have a family with that volleyball team, have this instant sisterhood and a group of girls you can trust and be able to have bonds with, shoulders to lean on when you're stressed, with school and everything. So that's why, we love watching our athletes be able to go on and play at the next level. And it's not just about the sports, it's just having that family instantly when you step onto the campus and be able to plug in and be able to have that support system there. So all of those are just phenomenal things. And so let's talk just a little bit about the volleyball side. We talked about some of the accolades, but you were actually recruited as an outside hitter, and then you've made the transition now where you were the starting libero this last year. So tell me about that.
So that was kind of an interesting scenario where we just kind of got in a place where, based off of the people we had, my coach pulled me aside and was just like, Lily, I think you're the only one who can do it at this point. I think I'm going to need you to step up and play libero. And at first I was a little taken aback by that because even I've always loved hitting. I've always wanted to work on hitting. You used to tell me I needed to start working on passing more if I ever wanted to play at the next level. And now here I am in this position where I'm the best passer on the team and he's asking me to take on this role where I'm just the core of the defense. And it was a bit of an adjustment at first because he wanted me to step into the role as being a vocal leader that a libero is, as if I've been a libero all along. And that was new to me. And I know I'm playing alongside these girls who know me as an outside, deep down, I know I was an outside. How do I talk like a libero, encourage my hitters like a libero would, and take on that role? And I think honestly being a hitter prior to libero helped me a lot in that transition because I was still passing and defending as an outside. So it's not like the skill set was totally new to me. I had to get used to maybe setting out a system or taking the second ball. But other than that, I feel like I'm able to give the feedback to my hitters that I would want as a hitter. And I feel like that's helped me a lot to be able to communicate to my hitters the way that I would need and things that would help me as an attacker as far as shots to be called and just being loud, taking the seams that I know I wouldn't want to take as a hitter, and just being able to step up and do that and take some pressure off of them. So I really ended up liking it a lot actually, but.
Yeah, and I know that can be tough because you have a hitter's mentality. You're aggressive, you want to be able to terminate and control the game a little bit. But as we always talk about, some people are like, oh, you guys train great hitters and you train great outsides, but we train liberos. And it's you do know that an outside does everything a libero does and we hit.
Right.
So it is an easy transition to take an outside hitter who's been passing her whole life and playing defense and doing everything. And then now you just basically take hitting away. And now you're just focused on passing and defense. And I'm sure once you had the pressure of not having to side out, I'm sure it helped you to settle in and be a little more focused on service receive and defense. And that helped you a little bit with your passing and everything?
It's interesting because in some areas I feel like removing the hitting piece removed a lot of pressure because it was man, all I gotta do is pass and defend. But then as soon as you shank a pass, it's kind of man, that's my only job and I just blew that. So
you can't make up for it and put the ball away.
Yeah, so it's a little different, but I mean, it definitely is nice to focus on that one skill. I feel like I improved my passing and defense way more than I ever would have by having that be my main skill set and taking that on, so.
And as much as I would love to take credit, I have to give credit to Dave Shondell. Do you remember he talked about you would be a great libero and you had a great wingspan and passing platform? You missed out though, Dave. She could have been your libero.
I know,
But no, I mean, you always had a beautiful platform. And I would say back then, you were a gym rat, and as you know, you used to spend hours with us just hitting and hitting and hitting. And that's why you became an amazing hitter. And your passing came along later just because of sheer numbers and reps, I feel like. You always had perfect technique and a great platform. But passing takes a lot of reps and just takes time to see so many different serves coming from so many different angles and being able to know what angle to set based on where you are on the court. And so I knew once you would settle in and just do a lot of passing that you'd be a phenomenal passer. And so it sounds like you put the time in now in college and passing. And the match we did get to finally see with COVID and everything, I thought you played amazing.
Thank you.
You passed really well.
It's been fun.
So that's always something that kind of just really warms my heart to see, an athlete maybe struggle in a certain area of their game, but put the time and the effort in and work through that. And then it ends up becoming one of their strengths and one of their best skills. And I feel like passing was one of those things with you.
That's definitely what I feel like happened, because I feel like later in my career, especially like late high school, I realized like, man, if I want to be somebody pulled off the bench my freshman year, I'm gonna have to be able to pass. And so I just took responsibility for that and really tried to take ownership of my passing, and then ended up paying off and really did end up being like my ticket onto the court. So I definitely think it's something that went from being a weakness to a strength just from reps and a lot of time in the gym, for sure.
Right. No, that's awesome. I love to hear these success stories, and just hearing the stories of being able to face an obstacle, struggle through a skill, or just struggle through something in life, and being able to overcome that with a lot of hard work and dedication and commitment. And here you are now, you know, the starting Libero, you know, for Liberty this last year, and moving forward into this next year, it sounds like you're either going to be the starting Libero, or who knows, you might be back on the outside. The way you were just hitting in the gym a little bit ago, you know, you definitely can still jump, you still can hit.
Thank you.
So yeah, the sky's the limit. Yeah, and the only thing we'll need to worry about is here in a year or so, trying to figure out where we want you to go play beach at. Trying to help you with some schools, to get you maybe one more year of playing
that would
beach.
be awesome.
So one of your specialties is your big topspin serve, and you have the ace record still at Lakewood, correct?
Yes, I do.
So tell me about your topspin serve.
My topspin's been quite a journey. I think that's something that you're probably hesitant to teach a lot of girls at a young age, because honestly a jump float is really difficult to pass. I know that as a Libero now for sure, that it's tough to see some jump floats, but I think the topspin is something that helped me set apart myself, especially in the recruiting process. It's something that not a lot of girls did, and I remember that's something you told me about the age I started doing it, was that if you want to do something to set yourself apart, topspin could be a good choice. So I definitely had to work at it to get the consistency that I wanted to have, and it's still not all the way there all the time. It's definitely a high risk, high reward scenario, but it's been fun to work on and to see it improve, and it's something that I'm always trying to tweak and get better at, ask for feedback from you when I'm here, and then even from my coaches at Liberty. I would say my serve is something that is just always growing, always making little changes so that I can get a little more pace or a little more side spin to make it hook to off the passer's left or right side. So it's been cool to see that and use that, especially at a higher level where there's not even a lot of top spinners now at the Division I female game. So
yeah, I mean, a jump floater is unpredictable, so it is a really tough serve, and arguably one of the toughest serves to pass. But if you can do a strong topspin, which you had the power and you had the hand contact that you could learn to control, it is, if you can hit it with enough speed and have enough control to be able to put it into the seams, it is one of the harder serves to be able to pass, and especially when a lot of kids don't see a good topspin.
Right.
You know, you see kids at the middle school and high school trying to topspin, and I always kind of laugh like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Because it's that high, loopy, super slow, like that's the easy serve to pass. But as I always tell kids, you got to have two things. You got to have the speed, and you got to be able to have the location and be able to control it into the seams. And you had the control right away. I know we had to keep pushing you to be a little more aggressive, because you're extremely conservative and you're a perfectionist, and you just wanted to keep it in. But you know, being able to watch your match this last year, I mean, yeah, you're able to bomb your jump serve now with a lot of speed and get it out in front of you. And yeah, that's definitely something that sets you apart. And I don't know any Liberos right now, I feel like at the D1 level, that's bombing a jump serve the way that you do.
Thank you.
Let alone anybody at the D1 level that is really hitting a good topspin like you are. So yeah, I definitely think that's something that sets you apart, and obviously we talked, and that's something I was able to identify pretty early on with your hitting mechanics and your control, that you had the potential to really have a good topspin serve. And so yeah, still got the record at Lakewood, and yeah, we can talk about the kills. It's been a struggle, which we may have found. It sounded like the two kills. You know, a lot of people just want to get 1,000 kills in high school. And at one time you were leading the state in kills, one of the top in the nation in high school with your kills. And I still kick myself. I'll blame myself. I let you, your senior year, one of your last games, I let you set a little bit, because that was always your lifelong dream, to be a setter. And you ended up with 1,998 kills and just missed 2,000, which I don't know anybody in high school that's getting 2,000 kills in their career. But later, it sounds like you and your dad might have found out in some newspaper articles. We might have found a couple of kills.
Might have found the 2 extra kills for the 2000, but I still don't regret the setting. I think I've been a setter, an outside, a right side, and a libero, so I'm just waiting for my opportunity as a middle, and Mom crossed everything off.
Well, when you transfer for your final year of beach, if you do some indoor, we'll find you a middle position.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Yeah. So no, it's been a joy and an absolute blessing coaching you through high school, and then even getting to coach you when you come home from college and still be able to work with you. And now I get to work, with your little sister, who's really just you, in a little smaller package, and as you know, maybe in a little more explosive package too. She hammers the ball, and she has the big topspin serve as well. She doesn't quite have your control, but she definitely has arguably maybe a little more power. But yeah, you guys have both just been an absolute blessing to work with. You're so coachable, and you just have great work ethic. And so I gotta give your parents kudos for the way they've raised you and all the values they've instilled in you. And then obviously Lakewood and now Liberty is continuing to grow those seeds that your parents planted. And hopefully I was able to water a few of those seeds and help you to get to where you are and hopefully beyond. So we always like to, with our empowered family, we always try to, ask if there's anything that maybe your empowered family, some of your friends, some of your old teammates, something they don't know about you. Okay. So think through something that maybe your team doesn't know about you, or your former players, or some of the girls who may know you that are still here. And then also something inspirational that you can leave with your empowered family. Maybe a quote someone's told you before, or just a mindset that has helped you to be successful on the court. So let's go back to the first one. Anything special that you do besides having an amazing singing voice?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you did let me sing the national anthem one time at a tournament. That was pretty cool. We may have to find that for this video. We'll edit that one in. I don't know, I'm having trouble thinking of anything too serious that they wouldn't know. I have a double jointed elbows, so I feel like that's helped me with my passing platform.
Sideways. That is
pretty flat.
I think that's what Dave saw back then. That's like the perfect platform from elbow to wrist. And she's got a crazy long
I do have really long arms, that too.
Yeah, so you could take a lot of balls outside your body.
It's taller than my height. When I turn it around, I've measured it before.
Yeah, and you probably didn't like that growing up, having long arms. I wish I would have had long arms. For me and my height, I think I'm just average. Like my arms are actually probably shorter than my actual height. Which, as you know, in volleyball, it's all about how high you can touch. It is about your reach, Yeah, I could jump high, but my reach just wasn't always as high. Funny. So double jointed, which helps your passing. So then, any famous quotes or any just different mindsets that, something you try to kind of live by that's inspired you or pushed you to be successful?
I think something that's really inspired me, especially being a part of the empowered family, is taking advantage of the opportunities you have. I know that's kind of simple, but the opportunity to play and compete you're not going to have forever. And so I'm really thankful for having coaches like you and teammates who are willing to stay after, and then taking advantage of that. I know some people probably have a lot of resources right at their fingertips of coaches and players that would stay after or come early with them if they just asked, and they never ask. So that's for sure the advice I would give to girls who are still in high school and hoping to play at the next level, would be to take advantage of your setter and ask her to stay after with you, to get those extra reps, take advantage of a coach that's willing to come in early and serve at you. And I think that helps translate over to life skills too, to just have that extra work ethic going into the work world and even your academics at the college level, to just really have that work ethic that it takes to be committed to something and to strive toward a goal in order to succeed, and not just reach your goal, but excel and achieve more than you ever thought you could. And to still be a good teammate in person while doing that would be the ultimate goal.
Yeah, well said. I mean, that's the empowered mindset. We really try to focus on just always getting better, the process, making progress. And as we tell people, it takes a little more to be a champion. If you're just going to practice every day, you're doing what everybody else is doing in the country. How are you going to separate yourself from everyone else trying to get that same scholarship, or just the kids within your own high school. How are you going to be able to get that starting position if you're just doing the same bare minimum that they're doing of just going to practice? And so, as we alluded to earlier, I mean, you were a gym rat, you know, whether it was at Lakewood, you wanting to stick around and hit balls afterwards, or I know there was times you left Lakewood and rushed over here to the gym and would spend another hour in the gym hitting balls. You know, you just put the time and the effort in. And that's one of the things that we just try to really stress to our athletes is you have this amazing, beautiful facility here with all of these top coaches and professionals and national team guys that, you know, you really need to take advantage of these opportunities and put the time and the effort in. And if you do that, then success is the byproduct, you know. But I think a lot of times in this society, they just focus on winning right now, and they just focus on, what can I do? I want to do the bare minimum to be successful and to win. And not realizing at this age, focus on getting better, focus on reaching your full potential. And as you talked about, taking advantage of all the opportunities and resources that you have. And if you do that and try to get 1% better every day, then the winning will come when it matters in college and one day professionally, and when you're being paid to win with a scholarship or a contract. And, you know, winning is just a byproduct of buying into the process, of embracing the grind, of putting the time and the effort in every single day, and really taking advantage of everything God's blessed you with. So there you have it, words of wisdom from Miss Lilly Kruse, your Empowered Athlete Player of the Week. And then one day you're going to come back and you're going to run the whole Empowered Empire.
That's what I'm saying, take on the club.